Well, ShadyPenguinn here, and I'm going to be talking about my experience at the San Jose Pokemon Regional Championships. If you don't know, that happened this past weekend. First of all, I mean, this is weird. I kind of want to do like a whole update. Welcome back, because I've been gone, but you guys have been watching videos every day, so it really doesn't matter. And I ended up deciding, while Sarah and I were in California, we were kind of doing our thing, enjoying it ourselves, and I think it was on Monday, maybe Tuesday, maybe it was Tuesday, I saw that there was a regional happening in San Jose, which is just like, you know, an 8-hour drive from where we were going. But we had actually already planned to drive up to Napa Valley, which is only an hour away from San Jose. So we were like, hey, you know what? Or hour and a half. We were like, so let's check this tournament out. Maybe I'll enter. I hadn't been to a Pokemon tournament since Wisconsin. In 2016. So that was back in the spring, I believe, but I was casting. I've never entered a Pokemon tournament before. As far as an official one, I think the closest thing I got to was Apex, but that was not official at all. That was just Apex. So I was like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead. And that was, I think the last one I entered was 2014, maybe 2015, but I think 2014 was the last one I entered. No, I entered 2015 as well. Because then I casted 2015. Super sporadically. So I was at the regional, and you guys can tab out. I'm just going to be talking. There's not going to be anything else on the screen, by the way, so hopefully you don't mind that. But a lot of you guys that were interacting with me on Twitter wanted me to talk about my experience and kind of the pressures of going to a tournament. So like I said, I had casted for the Pokemon company during the year 2015, pretty much through the whole circuit, starting with Nationals. Maybe Nationals was my first time casting. I think it was. And so there was a little bit of pressure just jumping into a regionals. I really just wanted to go. I had a couple of reasons I wanted to go. One of the biggest reasons was that I was just itching to battle. You don't get any best of 3 experience on Battle Spot or Showdown unless you look for Wi-Fi battles, which I'm going to start doing, by the way, for the channel, and do best of 3s with like shady people and with specific people. But you can't just like practice that. And it's very, very different, in my opinion, than just playing Battle Spot, than just playing VGC Factory. So I wanted to go for the experience of it, to see how I can do in a best of 3 format. And I also wanted to go to kind of prove to myself. You guys probably hear me say this a lot, but I don't consider myself a very, very good battler. I'm not very confident in my skills as a battler. And some people, oh, you're too modest, blah, blah. But like, it was a genuine feeling that I had, that I feel like I just don't measure up to top players. And I mean, I still don't get me wrong. But I wanted to go and say, you know what, let me see how I do. And it would be so much better if I could have just like shaved my beard and been like lazy Splendblin or something, so that people wouldn't know who I was, and there would be a lot less pressure. But at the same time, I enjoyed kind of being there and meeting so many shady people. There's so many shady people at this tournament. It was so awesome. I got to take so many pictures with you guys, and it was a lot of fun. But the pressure of being both a former caster and an internet personality is a lot, because there's this stigma about me, and I believed it too, is that like, I'm an entertainer. I'm not a battler. I don't have these skills to compete at high level play for Pokemon. So I kind of want to go to prove that to myself, and also to prove it to other people. But with that comes so much pressure, because I wanted to prove them wrong, but there was such a high probability, considering I decided on Tuesday to go. I mean, I'm always working on new teams in my mind, obviously, but I mean, at that point, literally every waking moment was spent making this new team that I used. And in a later video, I'm going to go ahead and go over that team. So if you want to see what I used at the regional, go ahead and hit that sub button down below. Shameless plug, so you don't miss it. It'll be coming probably tomorrow, honestly. I'll do it pretty soon while it's fresh in my mind. It's why I made the decisions and how things went. But there was a lot of pressure, because I didn't want to prove people right about me being a bad player, just an entertainer. He shouldn't be like, not that he shouldn't be competing, but like, it's a joke that he's competing, blah, blah, blah. So as far as the whole tournament goes, the venue was gorgeous. It was huge. There was a separate room for TCG and VGC. It was really awesome seeing my streamer buddies. The crew is just incredible. They have a new caster, Gabby, and she's wonderful as well. I didn't really get to spend time with her, talk to her, but just as far as her casting, she's great. And seeing the guys is a lot of fun. Meeting all of you guys is a lot of fun. But competing is so freaking stressful, man. Competing, I have so much respect, so much more respect for top players, because to consistently top in Pokemon is just nuts. It is. You guys know, if you play the game, how much hacks there is, and to manage that in and of itself is incredible. Not to go on tilt. I have tilting stories. Let me tell you. But so much time that goes into this, the day of the tournament and before. Like I said, I decided on Monday or Tuesday to start. Every waking moment, literally, not every way, because I was with my wife. We were hanging out and stuff, but like a lot of my time was spent just thinking about, okay, what am I going to put on my team? What am I going to do? All right, it's late at night. We're back in the hotel room. My wife's asleep. Let me spend 2 hours testing on Showdown and see what I can come up with. And man, my team went through so many different changes. Eventually, I settled on this one team that it involved weather. And I really felt like weather was necessary in this format. But I think I was proven wrong in the tournament for sure. I guess I'll go into detail a little bit about my team. Basically, I was using Gigalith as my weather setter, and I had Garchomp as basically pretty much the only synergy. Magnezone didn't take any damage. I had Safety Goggles, Arcanine, but nothing else benefited from the sand. It was just there to disrupt like Torkoal fun, and because my team before I had Gigalith on it, my team was getting wrecked by just Torkoal Lilligant lead. I couldn't do anything. I could not do a darn thing. And I added Torkoal, and then I changed up my Garchomp. That I think I was rocking out Crocodile first, and I went to Garchomp just so I could have a little bit of synergy there. And I really wanted to shut down that lead hard. And Torkoal also gives you the benefit of shutting down any hail teams. And I actually ran into one mid tournament. What ended up being one of my friends, because I was talking a lot to him during the tournament while we were waiting online and stuff, but it helped me in that matchup greatly. Gigalith was the MVP, and I'm so pumped that Gigalith is viable because I love Gigalith. You guys know the Giggles, shiny Giggles is like literally my favorite shiny, So Gigalith really helped me in that matchup. Actually, my round 2 was against a Torkoal Lilligant team with Trick Room. Didn't bring the Orange. She never brought the Oranguru, but it was really, really fun. It was a really good set, but I would have been such a huge disadvantage with my other team. Gigalith really came through. So weather may not be necessary to win, but at least at my level of play, where I don't know how to, maybe my team wasn't prepared to counter like Lilligant Torkoal without bringing my own weather. I don't know. Weather did come through though in the finals. I mean, Cybertron made it to top 8 with Rain, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple of other Pelipers up there as well. I got to check the standings, but. So it was a great time. So stressful. Let me tell you guys. Okay, so I won my first round, won my second round. Round 3, I go up against freaking Scott. Scott, if you're watching this video, I love you, man. No, I went up against Scott, and oh my gosh, he was just apologetic because this is not an exaggeration. Scott will back me up on this. There was between 10 and 12 hacks. Like between me missing Snarls, I think I missed 4 or 5 Rock Slides throughout the entire set. It was disgusting. I brought it to game 3. We both don't know. I don't really remember what happened in game 2 that somehow, I'm pretty sure I got did I get frozen in game? No, I didn't get frozen in game 2. Something happened in game 2 that was just like, are we serious? This is just going to be 2-0, disgusting. But so I brought it back. Maybe Scott let me bring it back. I don't know. But then game 3, just the hacks came through and it was tough. But at the same time, I don't want to discredit Scott, by the way. Like I told him, I was like, I was evidently frustrated with the game, but I get to him like he still made all the right plays. It's not, if you make the right plays and hacks happens in your favor, it's like, well, I mean, at least I'm not making bad plays and getting given a free game. I'm still making the right call. So it was a set. It was super disheartening. If you were following me on Twitter, that's like when I just like gave up all hope. I was like, well, this is hot. No, wait, was that round 3? I don't think that was round 3. I think that was round 5. That was round 5 because round 3 I went up against Meta. And Meta just pushed me in straight up. Could not adjust. I think it was just was it a 2-0 or did I get one game off him? I did get one game off him. I won game 1 because I Bloom Doomed his Porygon 2. And then game 2, he adjusted and bodied me. In game 3, I just couldn't adjust again because I wasn't used to best of 3. I really just had no idea. And he played perfectly. I mean, he ended up, I believe he ended up being in top 16. I know he was in top 16. I'm not sure if he was in top 8, but I know he was in top 16. So that was my first loss. And then it was round 5 that I lost to Scott and all that hacks happened. And that was just like, well, the only way I get top now is if I win out. And that was round 5 because I was 3-2. I remember now. I was 2-1, then I was 3-1, then I was 3-2. And I was like, well, I guess I have to win out and hope that my resistance is good. And we will talk about resistance in a bit. So I ended up playing through. I had to verse 2 friends back to back, I think. I think it was both Ben and, was it Ben? Ben and Sam? I think so. I don't remember what order I played them in or whatever, but I ended up versing them, clutched out a couple wins. Some misplays on each side in some games, just a little bit of quick playing, but managed to clutch it out. I ended up going 6-2 at my first regionals, and so I was pretty proud of that. I was definitely proud of that, but then I was super disheartened when the rankings came out because X2s had a chance to top. There was a bunch of X2. I think there was 7 X2s in top 16. So I was like, I have a decent chance. That's like 25% chance that I'll top, 23% chance out of all the X2s. And I didn't top. I ended up getting 35th. And I was really surprised by that. I felt like I worked a lot. I feel like I worked so hard, and then to clutch out X2 after not going on tilt after the Super Haxy game. Oh, and by the way, after that Super Haxy round, I think it was the next round, not the following round, but the round after that, in one turn of game 1, I missed my Leech Seed on my Tapu Bulu. I missed my Snarl with my Arcanine, and then I got critted. That was all one turn. It was all one turn. It was disgusting. Oh my gosh. But I lost that game, and then I adjusted. Finally, I was able to learn how to adjust, and then I won game 2 and 3 of that set. But you learn so much going through the tournaments, for sure. So I highly advise going just to give it a shot. I was running into a lot of people that were asking me for help with their teams. I mean, I'm not the perfect person to ask, but I was trying to do my best after they were like X3. They were like, oh, hey, how can I do better? Yeah, you see your X2, blah, blah, blah. And it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun. But resistance. So let's talk about resistance. If you don't know what resistance is, basically, I lost to Scott and I lost to Meta. So with those two players, however, if say Scott ended up beating me but then lost every other game, my resistance goes from up here to down here. Even though Meta was top 16 and brought it up here, I don't think Scott did this bad. I think he was like here. He ended up going 5 and 3. But other X2s, other 6-2s, because we played a total of 8 rounds, other 6-2 players may have played players that topped. Like if both of their players that they lost to topped, then they pretty much had a much better resistance than I did because only one of my players topped. So that's how resistance works, and it's kind of hot garbage in my opinion. Now, that's not normally the case. Wolf Glick is a huge advocate of, oh, and by the way, before I forget, Wolf Glick and Marcus, thank you so much. I was shooting off ideas in the DMs I was in their DMs on the Twitter when I was team building, and they gave me some solid advice all around. Just with some move sets and some spreads. Wolf really gave me some solid spreads. I ended up, by the way, guys, I ran that Timid Arcanine, and it paid off. Timid Arcanine, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is your investment. We'll go over it tomorrow. But Timid Arcanine, outsped the max speed Sand Slash outside of the hail, and it was glorious. I ended up not even going for that slot because I figured there was no way, but not in game 2 game 3 I was able to know that, okay, I have this knowledge, I can outspeed this thing without the hail. Let's get it. So it was a lot of fun running Timid Arcanine, but resistance is kind of hot garbage. Normally, it's not that bad, where there was literally over 20 X2s that didn't top. And not to mention that just didn't top. Like I said, I placed 35th. Only top 32 got CP. And I think that is a huge problem. That is a huge problem for the circuit, in my opinion. I think that I understand that CP has to be a little bit harder to win because whatever Worlds was overpacked last year, or they booked a too small of a venue, however you want to look at it. But I don't think an X2 should walk away with 0 CP after playing for 9 hours and then all that team building. And not just me. There was someone else. I was heartbroken. I don't remember his name. I think he definitely did introduce himself. He was wearing an Instinct hoodie. He ended up getting, I think, 18th or 19th. And he should have topped. When we were talking back and forth about, we were both X2 and he told me his players, I think one of his losses was Enosh, and he was top. I think Enosh ended up being top 4. And I was like, dude, you definitely topped. Congratulations. Because he was like, I think he was 8-0. Enosh was 8-0 before the top 16. So I was like, you're definitely topping. And then he got like 18th. And I'm like, what? Resistance is hot garbage. Automatically, if one of your losses is to an 8-0, like that should just skyrocket. Your other loss has to be like 0-8. Or 7-1, 1-7 in order for you to not get into top 16. But that wasn't the case, and it's really, really unfortunate. I really hope this video is not bugging out. I think it is because I had Twitter open. What a drag. But man, it was so heartbreaking because I was talking to a bunch of the players. I'm like, dude, you guys played so hard and prep's good and got X2. I understand it's not perfect, but like normally X2's top. Like because of the amount of people that were in the tournament, that's the only reason why that happened. If we had another 20 players, all X2s would have topped. We would have played an extra round, and we would have had all X2s top. If we hit that 256, I believe it is, or 254, 256, I think it is. If we have exactly 256. If it keeps going higher than that, if it gets like to 300, and we don't have 10 rounds, we only have 9 rounds, then some X2s aren't going to top again. But we were so close, we were off by 20 people. I really wish someone would have just made the call and said, all right, we're doing 9 rounds today. Because it would have, I don't know, I would have rather have gone 6-3 and not topped than to go 6-2 and not top. So I don't know. I'm a little disheartened by that, but it also motivates me to create a circuit of my own at some point. because I think that the tournaments are super well done. The pricing is out of control. I'm sorry, but the prize support is ridiculous. First place gets $3,000. Second place, I think, gets $1,000. Third and fourth, $750, and I think fourth through eighth get $500 or something like that. Something like that. Depends on the number of entrants, of course. But the pricing was just. It's really competitive pricing, in my opinion, for Pokemon. I was trying to run numbers and see how that's possible to do. At the same time, it was $30 for registration. And there was 224 players. So that's about $6,000 on the table, which is about what is there in the pricing, maybe a little bit less. And then there's some profit, I guess, that's made. But I guess it's really not that far-fetched to have that much pricing on the table if you have people coming out paying $30 to enter, which is pretty crazy in and of itself. How many players are willing to do that? It's encouraging for a scene because you kind of need that to run a circuit. You need them to support it so that you can pay for like venues, electric, and prizing and what have you. And that venue costs, I'm sure it costs them a pretty penny in order to do that. Of course, they also the TCG side. With TCG had more players, and that was only Masters at 224. So there were still other divisions and other prizes that had to be given out. So it's interesting. So overall, I had a positive experience in San Jose. A little disheartened toward the end once I realized that like I tried so hard to go X2 once I had the second game lost. I kind of wish. So for me, like if I ran a tournament and X2s weren't going to top, I would just say, why not just play double elim? Like, let's just play double elim. I don't have to be here till 9 o'clock at night, and I can go get some nice ramen at like 5 in the afternoon when I already go X2. Or the way I would want to do it is I would want to do either double elim and then have an amateur tournament start right after that where there's prizing support as well. And it's just free to enter. It's just, hey man, just you got knocked out. All right, this tournament starts at whatever, 2 o'clock. The original tournament starts at 10. So by 4 rounds, a bunch of people are going to be X2 most likely. And you have an amateur tournament for them, which is great. So that's what I would want to do. I would want to see something like that done in a circuit. But it was an eye-opening experience. I don't know that I'll enter any more tournaments. It was literally just like, we happen to be in California. There happened to be a regional. Let's go check it out. Let me see how I can do. And I'm really happy with how I played. It definitely proved to myself that I am underestimating my abilities and that I do still have so much to learn, but I should play with confidence, essentially. So hopefully I can do that in the future for you guys. I will be using my team in VGC Factory upcoming episodes. I'm going to use it for probably three episodes, just to see how it does on Battle Spot. That'll probably start after I do the team breakdown with you guys. I may even upload that today. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. We got a lot going on. We just got home. If I look tired, it's just because we flew a red eye last night. I should have opened up with that. But I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys so much for embracing me. By the way, if you were at San Jose and you said hello, some of you guys said some super kind things, supporting the channel and all that fun stuff, because it really means a lot. You guys, I tell you guys when you tell me that like, you thank me so much, and I have to thank you guys because I wouldn't be able to do any of this without you guys watching. So that was my favorite part of the tournament, was just getting to meet you guys and hear some of the things that I wasn't happy what you've had to go through, but the fact that I was able to help you is really, it's really humbling. So you guys know who you are. Thank you so much just for embracing me the tournament and just treating me as a player. A lot of players were surprised that I went X2. I know for sure there were some players that were just like, hey Shady, how'd you go? Expecting to hear like 3-5, and I was like, oh, I went X2, and they're like, and I was like, well, it was kind of a confidence booster. So I appreciate that regardless. If you didn't have faith in me and then you turned around and said, hey, he actually did pretty good for his first tournament ever, that means a lot. It does mean a lot. If you didn't have faith in me, then you still said, wow, X2's hot garbage for your first tournament, then I think you're lying to yourself, because a lot of the people said that it was good, and hopefully it is. I just wish that the tournament prizing reflected it, even in just CP. Just give me some CP. If I had a circuit, CP would be given based on the amount of rounds you win. So if you win a round, you get whatever. If you win one round, you get 1 CP. If you win 2 rounds, you get 3 CP total. If you win 3 rounds, you get 6 CP. So each time you win a round, your CP kind of stacks on it of itself. That's how I would want to run a circuit. I don't know. I'm just talking fiction here, of course. But we'll see what happens in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, let me know in the comment section down below. Have you ever been to a tournament? What was your experience like? Did you do well? Did you do poorly? Were you hacked out? Besides that, how was the tournament run? The venue? Are you happy with the structure of the current circuit? Would you like to see some changes? What would those changes be? Whole bunch of stuff we could talk about in the comment section below. With that, though, I'm going to get the hashtag out of here. Have yourselves a fantastic day. But above all else, keep it